Today, Britain honored a retired U.S. Marine. Here's Deborah Patta.
Trained to sniff out explosives,
Good girl.
12-year-old Luca went on hundreds of missions in Iraq with the U.S. Marines. Her success was extraordinary.
Look, left.
Not a single soldier died on her watch over 6 years. Gunnery Sergeant Chris Willingham served 2 tours with Luca and says she was, well, just one of the boys.
She is absolutely the only reason I made it home to my family, is just through her detection capabilities, locating IEDs.
In Afghanistan, Luca served alongside Corporal Juan Rodriguez. They were inseparable as they worked together clearing the homemade bombs set by the Taliban. But in March 2012, her illustrious career came to an abrupt end. A huge blast blew off one of her front legs. Rodriguez said that Luca had saved his life so many times, now he had to save hers. He never left her side as she was rushed into emergency surgery with severe burns to her chest, neck and head. He even slept by her side during her recovery at the US base in Kandahar. Semper Fi reads this bandage, the Marine motto for always loyal.
Oh, here she goes.
Since leaving active service, Luca was adopted by the Willingham family.
I bet she's spoiled.
Absolutely.
Rotten.
Yes, ma'am. We live in Southern California, so we'll take her to the dog beach as well. She loves the water.
And when she's not swimming, she spends her retirement relaxing at home as one of the family. Deborah Patta, CBS News, London.
We end tonight with 4-legged recruits in the war against poachers. Deborah Patta now on the K9 Airborne.
Meet Arrow and his handler Henry Holthazen. Harnessed together, they take off across the vast wildlife preserve. Arrow seems unperturbed, even as they hurl themselves out of the helicopter, falling more than 6,000 feet to earth, landing in the middle of the poaching wars.
Getting the dog onto the front lines as fast as possible is always a challenge, and parachuting and rappelling is one of the ways in getting the boots on the ground where they need it.
These elite canine dogs are trained to immediately sniff out the poacher, rushing to attack, pinning him to the ground until more help arrives. This may be a training exercise, but the dog's bites are real and special bite-proof suits are needed. The dogs are up against highly trained, heavily armed poachers who run a multi-million-dollar industry trading in elephant and rhino horn. In the past 7 years alone, a third of Africa's elephants have been wiped out. Nearly 100 of these skydiving dogs have been placed in game reserves across Africa. In one region, they caught over 100 poachers in 18 months. Holthazen told us one dog killer nabbed more poachers than rangers equipped with the latest high-tech weapons.
That is the most effective tool against the fight against poaching ever used. And it's low technology, it's low cost compared to other technologies, and it works.
Man's best friend may turn out to be a poacher's worst enemy. Deborah Patta, CBS News, Johannesburg.
Every dog has its day, and this day belongs to 4 very special dogs: Ranger, Kappa, Alfie, and Coffee. Here's CBS News K9 correspondent Chip Reed.
On Capitol Hill today, these retired working dogs were awarded the American Humane Canine Medal of Courage, the nation's highest honor for military dogs, for heroic service in Afghanistan and Iraq.
It's about time that we recognize these incredible war dogs.
Ranger sniffed out bombs for the U.S. Marines. Kappa did the same for the Navy. Alfie, after 2 tours in Afghanistan, now works for the TSA. He was reunited today with his Marine handler, Will Heron.
You remember me?
After 4 long years apart.
I think Alfie is as true a friend as you could possibly have.
Coffee did 3 tours in Afghanistan with Army Sergeant James Bennett. She led the way again and again, alerting him and his fellow Marines to roadside bombs.
She's never lost a soldier, ever.
She's saved a lot of lives.
Yes, sir.
Including perhaps yours.
No, I know her mind.
Do you consider her a hero?
I consider her an angel.
An angel.
Yeah. This one, she brought me home.
His wife, Lindsay, couldn't agree more.
She is the reason I have my husband.
We have 17 years of marriage right now, and we wouldn't have that
Yeah, no.
without her.
We wouldn't have the 3 kids we have without her.
Lindsay Bennett says Coffee now has a new mission. Instead of keeping U.S. Marines safe, she's watching over her children.
Who here loves coffee? Raise your hand. Why do you love coffee so much?
Because she brought my daddy home.
They're well aware that at 13, Coffee is approaching her last years.
I want her to enjoy this last part. She's earned it.
For 10 years of devoted military service, love is her endless reward. Chip Reed, CBS News, Washington.
A soldier's best friend. We salute Ranger, Kappa, Alfie, and Coffee.
Heroes come in all shapes, sizes, and species. Chip Reed has the proof.
Summer, a 7-year-old yellow lab, and retired Air Force Sergeant Micah Jones are a TSA explosives detection team working for the Amtrak police.
Hey, up. Do you have the best job in the world? I would have to say yes.
In part, he says that's because he gets to spend all day with his best friend.
The times I have training and I have to leave her at home, it's horrible.
Before working here, Summer did her bomb sniffing in Afghanistan, where she saved the lives of numerous U.S. Marines. Today, Summer was on Capitol Hill, where she received the Canine Medal of Courage, one of 5 military dogs honored for their extraordinary valor.
You ready? Good boy, Jag.
Jag also served in Afghanistan with retired Army Sergeant Dennis Dow.
He came under fire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Did he understand the seriousness of that?
Absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form.
He was just having a good time.
Damn right.
Would you be alive today if it weren't for him?
Oh, no way. No way. There's a lot of guys that'd be dead today. A whole lot.
Dow's wife Jacqueline says Jag still plays a vital role, helping her husband cope with a severe case of PTSD.
Jag is the reason why Dennis gets out of the house. Really, the only reason why.
Dow tries every day to pay Jag back for all he's done.
This guy took care of me. It's my turn to take care of him.
Taking care of our nation's heroes and giving them the respect and honor they deserve. Chip Reed, CBS News, Washington.
Finally tonight, what wouldn't you do for your best friend? Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
It takes real tenacity to make it on the U.S. women's sled hockey team. But what sets 36-year-old Christy Gardner apart and what brought us here to Lewiston, Maine, isn't her doggedness. It's her dog.
Let's go.
This is Moxie, Christy's service dog and her hero.
She's absolutely been a lifesaver.
You mean that literally?
Quite literally. That dog saved my life. There you go, kiddo.
Christy, an Army vet, lost both her legs after an attack overseas.
Good girl.
She got Moxie to help with daily tasks. But more importantly, during her darkest days, Christy says her golden retriever was the only thing that stopped her from ending her own life.
The way she would just look at you, her eyes would go right through to your soul. And I felt like I was disappointing her. And so having her by my side was the only reason I didn't kill myself.
Christy is now much better, but she has felt indebted to her dog ever since.
I feel like she deserves so much more.
Unfortunately, there is no good way to repay a debt to a dog.
You're my best buddy.
Especially not the magnitude of debt Christy feels she owes Moxie. Which is why, instead of paying it back, she has come up with the sweetest plan to pay it forward.
Meet Tiny Tim. He's not just any puppy. He's a puppy like her.
I gotta go back to class.
Christy has taken Tim and his bum wing under her wing and is now training the pup to be a therapy dog.
They're working on manners.
Ideally, she'd like him to work full-time here at Leeds Elementary, helping kids who feel broken.
There's just so much about him that is so perfect for this little mission of his. I think the kids are gonna say, well, he had all these problems and he didn't give up, and look how happy he is.
But before Tim can be a certified therapy dog,
so soft.
He needs a surgery to amputate his bad leg. Christy had been working multiple jobs to pay for that, until this assembly.
A check for $10,000 to pay for all of Tiny Tim's medical expenses.
Vetra Science, a pet food supplement company, made the donation, delighting both trainer and trainee.
Okay.
Looks like that debt has been repaid in full.
Moxie saves you. You save Tiny Tim.
And now Tiny Tim's going to save the town. It's pretty cool.
Very cool, but also exhausting. Steve Hartman on the road in Lewiston, Maine.
Makes you happy, doesn't it?
We're going to end tonight with a story about the unbreakable bond between a DeKalb County, Georgia police officer and his partner. Only one of them had the words to share it and did so exclusively with Mola Lengi.
This guy did his job valiantly, and because of him, he saved lives.
He saved lives that day.
Yes.
Police Sergeant Frank Cusimano and his K-9 partner Django were pursuing a man with numerous felony warrants. Police say the man fled and fired his gun, striking Django.
Took a bullet.
Took a bullet.
But saved lives in the process.
Yes, sir.
Django was rushed to Blue Pearl Specialty and Emergency Pet Hospital for surgery.
He had a gunshot wound with massive trauma.
Dr. Kevin Winkler operated on Django, whose leg had been fractured by the bullet.
It's no different than it is in trauma surgery on the human side. Give him a chance to survive. Right.
Which was in question?
Absolutely in question when he was admitted.
Django underwent 2 surgeries, but vets determined his leg could not be saved.
Was there ever a moment or any time where you thought that he might not make it?
Of course, you wonder, but his eyes told me he's like, I got this.
Police departments from the area kept vigil for Django, sitting outside his hospital kennel 24 hours a day, just like they do for human officers.
He wants to run already.
Because of his injury, Django will likely be retired from service. On Saturday, he went home with Sergeant Cusimano, like he has every night.
Is Django a hero?
In my eyes, no doubt.
No question, right?
No doubt. Very proud of you, sir.
Mola Lengi, CBS News, Sandy Springs, Georgia.
How can you repay someone who gave you a new chance at life? How about returning the favor? Here's CBS's Steve Hartman on the road.
The Ramapo Bergen Animal Refuge in New Jersey is a shelter of last resort. Megan Brinster runs the place.
Our purpose is really to take the ones that don't have anywhere else to go, and that was Sadie.
Sadie was a big German Shepherd, nearly 100 pounds, and she wasn't great with men, which is why 3 other shelters turned her away, and why Brian Myers,
good girl,
adopted her.
I thought, let me give this dog a chance because she's beautiful and I think I can work through her issues.
So at the time, you thought you were rescuing her?
Yes, absolutely.
Little did he know he was saving his savior.
I was very lucky to have her on the night that I had the stroke. As soon as I stood up here, I fell straight down.
Brian lives alone.
And my cell phone was over there.
So Sadie was his only hope.
And that's when I grabbed her collar and she pulled me out of this little space here.
Pulled him all the way across the room to his phone.
As far as I know, she's never been trained as a service dog or anything.
How do you explain this?
I can't.
You're so pretty.
Megan thinks she can. She says rescue dogs are often incredibly loyal.
When you have a dog who's lost something, all the dogs that come here have lost a family, a person, or they never quite had that. So when they make that connection, you really become their world.
Good girl.
Brian says Sadie does constantly track him. And obviously, she was at her post that night he needed her most.
Okay.
Brian was rushed here to Englewood Health in Englewood, New Jersey. He spent a couple weeks in treatment and rehab. And just before his release, he got a visitor. A very grateful visitor.
She just immediately jumped on me and was kissing my face, knocked my glasses and my mask off, and I just thought, I love this dog.
And you don't need to be Dr. Doolittle to hear Sadie reply, I love you too. Steve Hartman, on the road.
Good girl.
In Teaneck, New Jersey.
This is her favorite spot.
Nothing more special than the love of a dog. In Louisiana, a desperate search for 2 missing sisters came to a happy end, thanks in part to a very good boy named Artemis. CBS's David Begnaud dug up the story.
Meet Artemis, the Berg family pet, and their hero.
When Abigail and Cecilia, age 7 and 4, went missing recently in the woods behind their Louisiana home, Artemis went with them.
I just start running around the whole property. I mean, 6 acres. And that's when I called him and said, hey, they're gone.
Police and neighbors searched for hours.
Before I knew it was past 9 o'clock and we still had no word.
After wandering more than a mile, the girls got tired and turned to Artemis.
She was hanging onto his collar.
Was she really?
Yeah.
4 hours after they vanished, a searcher heard Artemis barking, then saw the dog do something that melted hearts.
He wasn't letting them by the girls. He was circling them, growling at the people.
Really?
To protect them. Mm-hmm.
It was only after the girls were reunited with Mom and Dad that everyone learned Artemis was actually the one that got them lost.
He kept running ahead of us. We were trying to follow him, but we couldn't keep up.
The family has forgiven him.
He's got a free pass for a while. I won't be fussing at him for chewing up blankets and shoes.
You're such a good boy. Indeed, a very good boy. David Begnaud, CBS News, Folsom, Louisiana.
We end tonight in California with a surfing legend that might surprise you. She's retired from competition, but still loves catching waves for a good cause. Here's Carter Evans.
Here we go. Oh, yes. Surfing a wave this size takes skill. Even people on the beach sound shocked.
I think she's going to connect, dude.
That's a dog tearing it up in a good way. That's because Skylar the surf dog is a beast on the board.
She surfs legit waves, like real waves.
She surfs some pretty big waves.
Head high for you or me.
Yeah. Probably caught like 10 footers before.
Homer Hennard says he could tell Skylar had skills the first time he brought her to the beach as a pup.
She ran and jumped on the board. I seen she had really good balance, and I was like, oh, it's on. Come on, girl. Come on.
We hit the water in Santa Cruz, California to see for ourselves. Sharing a wave together, it's obvious this furry phenom has flow. Skylar's earned the title of top dog for her canine gnarliness, but what stands out is her ability to surf solo.
She was naturally leaning on rail and punching bottom turns and lifting up one paw to go this way, and it was like she really got it, like she was really surfing.
Eventually, she was ready for the holy grail of surfing. They rounded up a barrel for this cattle dog at Kelly Slater's surf ranch.
We came out of the tube, and it was amazing. I can't even explain it. And she was looking back at me, and I was like, that was awesome.
Now at 15, Skylar's surf sessions are primarily surf therapy.
Yeah, doggy.
Right there, Skylar.
Helping people overcome challenges by riding waves.
And just this amazing thing happens, you know, where they're just smiling. I almost can see disabilities go away for a brief moment.
She looks like she's loving it. How do you know she's actually having fun? How do you know she likes this?
You can tell. Once we're riding a wave and she's hanging 10 on the nose with her tongue out, looking back up at me, she's been the best surf partner I could ever have.
Who knew a salty dog could be so sweet? Carter Evans, CBS News, Santa Cruz.
A police dog named Pandora is getting a pat on the head and maybe some extra treats after her impressive work in the line of duty. CBS's Dave Malkoff has the tale.
Nora, I want to introduce you to Pandora, the Hanover Hound who just turned 4 and also turned into a hero, all caught on camera. Look at this. When 73-year-old Lena Moats went missing from her daughter's Georgia home a few weeks ago,
You ready? Come on, let's go.
Johns Creek Sergeant Rob Limke and his dog Pandora were actually off duty.
I just happened to be on my back patio having a cup of coffee.
Just get it. Just get it.
Pandora got Moats' scent from a pillowcase and went right to work.
Is that somebody down there? White hair. Oh, good girl. I think that's her, dude. Blue sleep shirt. Good girl. You like dogs? I do. This is Pandora. Would you like to pet her?
Thanks to Pandora's nose, the entire search only took 22 minutes.
I'm following what she's doing. She's the one working. I just got to be able to read her. And, you know, it turned out for the best.
Good job, Pandora.